The Russians launched a devastating strike on Saturday on the northern Ukrainian port city Chernihiv. 7 people were immediately reported killed, and among them a 6-year-old child. More than 100 were injured, some of them seriously. There are fears that the death toll could climb. 25 people were taken to hospital. The injured include 12 children. The Russian attack hit a main square in the town, a university building and a theater building. The attack came about noon, just as people were around in town celebrating their Saturday weekend off, and many were returning from attending church in the morning, and many families were returning from a morning out in the local park with the children. But the theater building was reported to have been holding a meeting of drone manufacturers. An air raid alert sounded through the course of that meeting and in town, and people were advised to take cover according to local reports. But some attending that meeting in the theater chose to go out instead, and some among them are believed to have been among the casualties on this Saturday. That strike on the theater could point to a serious intelligence leak. Only the participants were informed of the meeting on the drones, and that too just a few hours in advance of it. It is suspected that the theater was for that reason the prime target, but this is not confirmed. It is believed to have been hit by a ballistic missile. Chernihiv is located just 50 kilometers from the border with Belarus. It faced the brunt of the Russian invasion over the first few months of the war last year in February. There will be questions now arising over the extent of any involvement of Belarus in this strike on Chernihiv. There will be questions also arising whether the use of the theater for a meeting of drone manufacturers made that, for that reason, a legitimate military target. Buildings around, of course, were hit as well, and since the beginning of the invasion, Russian forces have hit civilian targets all over Ukraine, leading to tens of thousands of civilian deaths. There will be questions further whether this attack was provoked perhaps by the drone attacks on Moscow coming from Ukraine, and there was an attempted attack reported on Saturday itself. The Ukrainians have always rejected such a charge. They say that it cannot be the case, that it is all right for Russians to attack, and to call any counter-attack from Ukraine a dangerous escalation. But the conflict does appear now to be escalating. There will undoubtedly be more attacks like this, just as certainly the Ukrainians will hit back.